Hi, got a new story for you. It rained for nearly a week in the grain belt of the country. On the first cloudless day, an 18-wheeler pulled up on the dirt road and applied its air brakes. The driver got out of the cab and looked around. He wasn't sure which farm he was to deliver the brand new tractor to. He finally saw an old man sitting on the porch of his old white farmhouse drinking from a coffee mug. The driver waved and the old farmer pointed to the farm across the road. The trucker smiled, then waved in thanks. He got back in the truck, fired up its engine, released the air brakes with a psh sound, and then headed up the driveway. A few hours later, the old farmer rode up to his new neighbor's house on his tractor. His old tractor served him well most of his life. The red paint had worn away and was replaced by the brown patina of rust. Throughout the years, the simple machine remained reliable from the care and maintenance from the farmer. They both pulled up and stopped next to the large tractor that sat in a round driveway in front of the new neighbor's house. Out walked a young man wearing overalls and shiny new cowboy boots. The old farmer sat and waited as he studied the huge tractor that towered over his own. Finally, the neighbors met with a handshake and a smile. "Jacob Brown," the old man said. "Willis Strong," the young man said as he gripped Mr. Brown's hand firmly. He felt the coarseness of the old farmer's hand. "That sure is a piece of equipment," the old man said. "Sure is. Cost me more than my house, and it has air conditioning too," the young farmer beamed. "Well, if you're headed out to till today, I'd like to give you a warning to stay out of your eastern field, as it has been raining hard and I wouldn't want you to get your tractor stuck. I don't think that there's anyone in the entire county that can pull you out," the old farmer warned. The young farmer's chest heaved and puffed up, and he replied, "This machine has four-wheel drive, traction select technology, and GPS-controlled navigation." He sounded like the salesman that had sold it to him. "Well, it's been raining, and I know about your land as I have lived here my whole life," the old farmer offered his knowledgeable advice. The young man shook his head, turned and climbed the ladder up into the cab of his exquisite farming machine. Mr. Brown turned the key of his own tractor. It fired up, and he drove down the driveway back to his home. The young farmer studied all the controls of his new tractor and finally figured out how to start it. He blasted the air conditioner and the stereo as he watched his old neighbor disappear down his driveway. A few hours later, the old farmer was back on his tractor, heading east on the dirt road that divided the two farms. He was on his way to mend some fences. He putted along, singing and whistling along with the humming of his old tractor's engine, when he noticed his neighbor's new tractor sunk in the mud up to the axles. The shiny green paint was hidden under the thick caked-on mud that was flung by the four tires that spun helplessly in the eastern field that had become a bog from nearly a week of rain. The old farmer stopped and shut off his faithful engine. He looked over to his neighbor, who was waving frantically for help from the air-conditioned cab of his fine machine. Farmer Brown waved his hand in a friendly, neighborly way, then started up his own fine machine and headed to the pig pen, where there, at least he knew, all would be stubborn and pig-headed. Now, when you ignore knowledgeable, experiential advice, your shiny new cowboy boots gonna get covered in mud. Shalom.